So today I'm going to review pitch notes. What pitch notes means? Means the name of the note plus within each octave. This C here on the first ledger line on the treble clef, let me add here. It's the C4. So the name of the note and the octave, C4, goes until from C to B, the 7 notes is going to be within the C4 scale. So D4, E4, F4, G4, A4, and B4. The next C is on octave, so you C5, C5, D5, E5, F5, G5, A5, B5. The next C is C6, and so on. So go back to the C4. Below the C4, that B belongs to the C3 scale. So let's see, B3, A3, G3, F3, E3, D3, and C3. So that is C. From that C until B, all the notes are within that scale of 3. Let me add here the keyboard. C4, from the C4 here on the keyboard, can you see? From the C4 until B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B belongs to the C4 scale. The C4 is not a scale of whole steps or half steps, but the octaves on the piano. So C4, C3, C2, and C1, going up 5, 6, 7, 7, and 8. So this is on the piano. It's not a scale major or minor or pentatonic. No, this is just a scale of octaves that you can recognize on the piano. The middle C is the C4 on the treble clef and bass clef. That's the middle C, is C4. So all the notes above the C4 until B is within that C4 scale. C, now C5, and so on. C5, D5, E5, F5, G5, A5, B5, C6. Now below, now we're going to use the ledger lines in space of the treble clef. C4, B3, again C4, B3, A3, G3, F3, E3, D3, and C3. We're not going to write more, so B2, A2, G2, F2, E2, D2, C2. But because it's difficult to read on the treble clef, I'm not going to add more ledger lines. So those lines could be transcribed to the bass clef that would read much better. See? The same C4, B3, B3 on the bass clef is on the first space above the musical staff, A3 on the line number 5, G3 is on the 4th space, F is on the 4th line, E is on the 3rd space, D3 is on the 3rd line, C3 on the 2nd space. But because the treble clef starts here, so use 4 ledger lines to write the C3. Okay. So now how can you write the Let me get here the book. One example of to write down the pitch notes on the music. Let me just open here, sorry. I'm going to give an example from The Sound of Music. So the first note is on the third space on the treble clef. So that's a C5. The second note is on the second space, is your A4. 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 Second line is G4, because it's within the C4 scales of the octave. And A4, sorry, I wrote it, G5 is G4. A4. A4, G4, A4 on 8 notes. G4, A4, B4, the C7 is chord, is not the name of the notes, but the name of the chord. C7 is not a note, but chord. So on the third line is B4, second space on the treble clef is A4. Second line on the treble clef is G4. And what you do is just that. So write the name of the pitch notes, G4, A4. If you're going to just write the name of the notes, it's just C, A, A, G, A, G, A, B, B flat, sorry. B flat 4. A4. Pitch notes, you do not add the octave, but just the name of the note, C, A, G, A, or Do, La, Sol, La, Sol, La, Si bemol, La, Sol, Sol, La, Sol, La, Sol, La, Si bemol, La bemol, Sol bemol. Or C, A, G, A, G, A, B flat, A, G, G, A, G, A, G, A, B flat, A flat, G flat. Now pitch notes will locate the notes within the octave. So here I'm not going to repeat that. I'm going to direct to the B flat 4, A flat 4, A flat 4, G flat. You add the name of the note with the accidental and the octave. So G flat 4, G flat 4, because it's occurrent. G natural, 4, G natural, A natural, A natural, or etc., etc., etc. So that's it. Just write the name of the notes within its octave. If the note has one accident, you add the accident on the note. Because this is occurrent, it's not from the fix, it's not from the key signature. So you need to add this. So it's valid within the same measure in the same clef. So G flat,